What up, Bengals fans? We have the schedule. It is here, and it's time to react to it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and so much more right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals Talk, and happy schedule release day. Hopefully, you're ready to go and ready for some non-1 o'clock games, because let's dive into it here as far as the Bengals go. And we'll show you the entire schedule, but I'm going to go right into my takeaways. And my first takeaway is the fact that the Bengals, well, they're primetime, baby. They're star-driven, baby. They're exactly what we expected, what we anticipated. Count them, 5 primetime games. And whether it's the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, the Ravens the following week in Week 5 on Sunday Night Football, the Browns on Monday Night Football, the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, or the Bills on Monday night. Think about that, by the way. Ravens, Browns, Steelers, all primetime games. The common thread there, the Bengals are the most exciting and interesting team in the AFC North. And yeah, there are other storylines, there's no doubt about it. But you look at this AFC North, it is a very high-end division. I think people think that the Steelers are the worst team in the division. Well, they actually upgraded at quarterback, and that's because Ben was really, really bad last year. And they made the playoffs. So to me, it's a really good division. I do think the Bengals are the best team in that division. I made that clear. But 5 primetime games. The fun part to me is they're on the road. And, you know, the Bills game is at home, but the Steelers on the road. The Browns Monday night on the road. The Ravens on the road as I look at the schedule. And so 3 of the 5 on the road, which is a prediction, by the way, that we made at allbengals.com this morning. So, how about that one? The fact that they'd have road playoff games. But that's fun to me because I think this team is built different, right? And they love the idea of going on the road, prime time, and showing everyone who they are. And they're going to have to do that again this year. I don't think I don't think most outside voices, outside of Bengals fans, outside of people that cover the team, and even some probably that cover the team, I think there's some doubts. But that's my first takeaway, primetime Bengals. And the other part of this, they have 3 4:25 games, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bucks at 4:25. And maybe I did bury the lead because the Bengals, they open with the Steelers at home. 3rd year in a row, they open at home. Think back to Joe Burrow's rookie year, they opened against the Chargers. Last year, you open against the Vikings, both at Paul Brown Stadium. 1-1 in those openers. They'll look to make it 4 wins in a row against the Steelers after sweeping them for the first time since 2009 last season on 9/11 at 1 o'clock, Paul Brown Stadium. Going to be interesting. And I know there was some speculation about the Cowboys and Thanksgiving Day. Well, it turns out that that's not the case. They're going to go to Dallas week 2, September. We will be there. That's going to be an exciting one. And then they take on the Jets week 3, Dolphins week 4, Ravens week 5. Those 2 games, Dolphins, Ravens, both prime time. And heck, let's go through the schedule completely here. Then at the Saints, Falcons at home, at Browns, Panthers, then a bye week 10, week 11 at Pittsburgh, like we talked about on Sunday Night Football, then at Tennessee, then Chiefs and Browns at home, and then you got at Tampa Bay, at New England. Interesting that those are back-to-back. Then the Bills, Monday Night Football, week 17. That could be a big one when you're talking about AFC playoff seeding. And then Ravens, not sure what day that's going to be, week 18. So the other takeaway, as I just went through the entire schedule, first takeaway, primetime games. Second takeaway, the balance of the schedule, very clear to me that before the bye is where the Bengals need to make their hay. They need to get off to a hell of a start. Think about it. Steelers, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins, Ravens, Saints, Falcons, Browns, Panthers. That isn't scary, is it? Not scary to me, at least on the surface. So I did the math. And the Bengals, those first 9 games, play 2 playoff teams from a year ago. The Cowboys, which I would say are worse than they were last year. And I didn't think they were that good last year, even though they won 12 games. And the Steelers, which a lot of people think are the worst team in the division. Those 9 games, those teams have a combined 71, 81, and 1 record last season. That's what they had, 71, 81, and 1. And so if you're the Bengals, you want to make your hay against these teams. And I look at it, I mean, Steelers, you should be able to win that game at home. At Cowboys, I think that's a winnable game. At Jets, certainly a game that, yeah, I know you lost last year. That can't happen again. Sorry, CJ Uzama. The Dolphins, 4 days later, winnable game. That is a tough stretch, though. Think about it. At Cowboys, at Jets, Dolphins at home 4 days later, at Ravens, at Saints. A lot of travel. So that part of it is tough, but the opponent's certainly winnable. Then you come home, Falcons at home, which certainly a game you should win. At Browns on Monday Night Football, so you get an extra day, and then the Panthers on a short week before the bye. Overall, that's where I think you make your hay. And we're going to play the schedule game on another video, but I just wanted to give you my instant reaction to the schedule. And then the second half, look, one, the bye, the fact that the bye smack dab in the middle, 9 games, then 8, I think that's very beneficial. But really, it's winnable. And it sets them, it really, they should be going into the bye on a pretty good high, right? At Saints, Falcons, at Browns, Panthers. Those are the last 4. There's no reason why you can't go 3-1 during that stretch. Then it's a bye. Then it's at Steelers. Okay, they could be better. You don't know what they're going to be quarterback-wise, though. And then at Titans, I think they're worse. They got rid of A.J. Brown. I think they're clearly the second-best team in the AFC South after being the best team there. And then it gets tough. I mean, Chiefs, Browns, you would imagine Deshaun Watson's back, but you are home, you are home for that game. At Tampa, at New England, I would imagine worst case you're splitting those, but, you never count out a Bill Belichick team. And then Bills, Ravens. So the second half of the schedule, 6 playoff teams in those final 8 games. They have a combined 83-52-1 record. So that is a bit tougher, no doubt about it. But I look at this schedule and I see this team. I think they're going to win more games than last year. We'll play the schedule game on another video. But just my initial reaction, do you see a game that isn't winnable? Like, that you're confident in on paper that they can't handle business in those first 9 weeks. And I know a lot of them are on the road, but Steelers, at Cowboys, at Jets, Dolphins, at Ravens. You feel good about all of those, I would say. Now, the Ravens, probably the second best team in the AFC North on paper, maybe third. But it's a tough division, like I said. And then at Saints, Falcons, Browns, Panthers, I like all those. The toughest stretch to me, travel-wise, is weeks 2 through 6. The good news is it's early in the year. So you're going to Dallas. You're going to New York. You're playing the Dolphins 4 days later at Baltimore. But you get that mini bye in between there before you go to Baltimore, and then you play the Saints. The toughest stretch games-wise for me is weeks 13 through 17. Really weeks 13 all the way out, honestly. And I get it. New England, they might not be as good as they were last year. They might not make the playoffs. They might take a step back. The Dolphins take a step forward. Regardless, though, Chiefs, Browns, Buccaneers, that's a hell of a gauntlet, right? Weeks 13 through 15. Then you got the Patriots on the road, Bills at home, Monday Night Football, and Ravens. That's tough. And so that's why if they can make their hay early, those games can be more about seeding than about clinching a playoff berth, which is what you want to do. So overall, I like the schedule. What do you think? Because to me, it's a clear separation. Man, the early part of the schedule is winnable, and in the second part is going to be much harder, especially weeks 13 through 18. But if they handle business early on, like I expect them to, and then you just split those other games, you could be looking at a 13-4, 12-5, 11-6 type team. And that type of record, given how tough the AFC is, could be the number 1 seed. Like, you could see a number 1 seed based on tiebreakers that is, 11-6. 12-5 was the 1 seed last year. I think the AFC is much more competitive than it was last year. And so to me, the Bengals certainly going to be in the running for that with this schedule. We will play this schedule game. We also have rookie minicamp coming up on Friday. So you need to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and buckle up. Because right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, we're going to be at Paul Brown Stadium. We're going to give you video of Dax Hill, video of Cam Taylor, Britt, and the rest of the Bengals rookies. And, yeah, we'll play the schedule game coming up as well. Plenty of time for that. So don't delay, don't go anywhere, and make sure you keep it locked right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. For our channel coordinator, Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now, right here on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.